He's branded the blackmailer, king of deceit, a spider whose cameras ensnared the elite. The story was simple, dramatic and clear, a villain with vaults of corruption to fear. The myth had its uses. It dazzled the crowd, a story so lurid it shouted too loud. Investigators circled the salacious web, while Epstein's true channels ran silent, unebbed. For under the gossip, the whisper, the sting, the man was a banker who managed a ring. His skill was not taping but moving of funds, a clearinghouse trusted by presidents' sons. Through Wexner he captured a river of gold, with power of attorney, the fortune controlled. The mansion he gained was no accident prize, it crowned him with stature and blinded the eyes. Like Templars of old with their ledgers and seals, he shifted the balance without moving wheels. No bullion by ship, only numbers offset. The game of accounting made laundering legit. He whispered of wealth in the language of trust, a mystic accountant, the rich made a must. Each transaction blurred into banking's disguise, for money in daylight wears commonplace ties. The triad that saved him was cunningly spun, a conduit of finance, discreetly well run, the aura of blackmail, both rumor and veil, and complicity shared in a mutually frail. Now one fortune alone is a channel, a stream, but two in his grasp made the laundering scheme. With Wexner's estate as his licensed domain, he paired it with others to mask every chain. A transfer from one to the other appears like normal investment, not scandalous gears. For billionaires often exchange in the night. A trust for a loan, an account set alight. Imagine two ledgers, both swollen with gold, Epstein between them with powers controlled. He offsets the credits with debits disguised, and nothing looks shady to regulatory eyes. No suitcases bulging, no couriers late, just balances shifting in Clark's quiet state. When Wexner's account, loans are summed to a shell, another man's trust earns returns that look well. The trick is that money need never be moved, just paper adjustments discreetly approved. A debit in one, and a credit elsewhere, what's lost in the first is recovered with care. Now multiply this by 10 fortunes or more, each linked by his hand in an infinite score. A loop of accounts where the trails intertwine, so cash becomes phantom, invisible line. The genius was masking what laundering meant, as if it were ordinary wealth management. Transfers and offsets, all dressed up as trade, the crime disappears in the cover he made. So tapes were a story for papers to print, but ledgers were truly the blackmailer's flint. Two fortunes were engines, their gears interlaced, and billions were laundered without being traced. The myth worked two ways, misdirection outside, reassurance within for the men who complied. If Epstein should fall, then the whispers were true. The tapes would damn everyone, not just the few. Thus scandal itself was the guarantee sold, an aura of danger that made clients bold. To hand him their millions was safer, they scored, for his fall would blind all to the fortunes they hoard. And women were present, though blurred into form, made fixtures and curtains, the normalized norm. Their silence converted to backdrop and stage, their anguish erased in the myth Epstein made. The tabloids embraced it, the blackmailer name, the myth of the spider brought scandalous fame. Yet in that dark mask lay the banker concealed, a clearinghouse power the myth left unsealed. Now Lutnick emerges, rehearsing the tale, a neighbor disgusted, yet close without fail. The greatest blackmailer, he cries with a sneer, planting a story to shield what's unclear. His anecdote functions as repute's vaccine, a whisper rehearsed for the spotlighted scene. If files ever surface with money in play, he's seeded the myth that will steer it away. The danger is not in a tape never found, but transfers and loans with their dates iron-bound. No rumor can soften a ledger's cold ink. No gossip can sweeten a balance that stinks. So expect the rehearsals from neighbor and friend, each tale of revulsion prepared for the end, discussed as a shield, anecdote as disguise, the chorus of clean hands rehearsed for the lies. The reckoning threatens from bankrooms, not beds, from filings and ledgers, not whispers unsaid. The mask of the blackmailer shields to this day, the role of the banker who hid in the fray. The myth was a weapon, a cloak, and a charm. It kept eyes from money, it muffled alarm. The scandal that sells is the scandal that hides. The laundering flows where the rumor abides. One day when compliance files crack open wide, the ledgers will speak what the tapes have denied. And Epstein remembered, when all tales are spun, not spider of bedrooms, but banker of funds. May history's ink record what was true. The mask was the myth, but the clearinghouse grew. The blackmailer's shadow concealed the machine, and Lutnick's faint whispers reveal what they mean. That Epstein's real legacy, stripped of disguise, is not in the tapes, but the ledgers of lies. And if those ledgers come spilling one day, the myth of the blackmailer crumbles away. A temple of money, not cameras, he ran. The mask of the monster concealing the man.